I'm in the garage cleaning up from yesterday. I really want to start fresh. I got both motor mounts made, welded, and put in. They're not 100%. There's still another ear on each side to bolt to the side of the chassis. If Jolene wants to take a minute, she can show you that. I'm just going to put this bench away for a second. If she wants to show you the motor mounts, what they look like, and what we have done. She did a real good job filming yesterday because I watched it and I stayed intrigued because you got to see what was happening. You know, what I did is I unbolted that, I unbolted it. I pulled it out. I welded all the edges. I ground them all back like I said I would, so I get a good weld. Then I went in on the inside and put a weld inside there so I could grind the outside off nice. What will happen is that will stay there. The motor has stayed put. It's over. The motor is mounted. Mounts are made, not finished, by 80%. So now as I get going, as I'm cleaning up, I guess there was a couple questions what kind of plasma cutter I'm using. This is the perfect time. I'm cleaning it up if you want to zoom in on it, Jolene, and show me what it is. It's a PowerMax 30. I don't know if they still make them or not. Well, they probably still make them, but this is fairly old, and all I did is use it, and yeah, it's done me well, you know. I had a little trouble with trying to get the tips at one point, but we found them, and then we got back into it again, so the machine works really good. Steve was asking some good questions the other day when we were putting the engine in, like, why would I not use that? Why would I not use the plasma cutter to just go in there and cut that all off? Well, as you've seen that square tubing, I could not get at it to cut it off, so I was going to use the grinder instead. Do I got a problem with my mic, sweetheart? Oh, she noticed it. But anyways, as I get going, I'm going to show you where I'm at. The motor mounts are in. Now I'm off into the transmission. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag out parts and show you what I'm doing. Like I always do. Like I always do. Yeah, Jolene did a fantastic job yesterday with the phone. Like, it's hard to believe that she can do it that well. But it's not for me because I know how talented she is. All right, I'm going to bring this over here. I'm going to drag this transmission out. I got the transmission in here. I don't feel like carrying it. I probably could try, but I'm at that point in life where if I don't have to hurt anything, I try not to. If I don't have to hurt anything, I try not to. And it's heavy. And it's heavy. We'll just put that on there. I'm going to push it out. Handy little thing, eh? Handy. So, if you can picture it, I got the door open. If you can picture it, that shaft has to go in that torque converter on the end of that transmission. The 4 bolts you see are the 4 ears that we see here, and that's going to lock that on there. I think I'm going to have maybe someone else give me a hand as I do that. I probably could do it by myself with a jack underneath the transmission, but it would be nice to have someone hold it. Now what I've got to do, I'm going to grab the drive shaft, if there's one out here. Yeah, here's one here. Doug gave me a couple dry shafts with the engine, and this one, you know, looks small enough. So, I see how this drive shaft, how this one works on this end. That would go on there, bolt on that. We can take this unit, we can unbolt this piece. We can unbolt this piece, put that on the transmission. Use this universal joint for back on the rear end. So this is going to be in here like this, and we're not going to be far off. Well, you know, that dry shaft will go down inside there a little bit more, but not much. So that means that Steve was right. All them cross members will have to be cut out. When I cut them out, then that means we'll have to reforce it on the edge. That's no biggie. When you put the tunnel on it, if you can picture it, as we cut them off, when we put the tunnel on it, the metal going up straight and then across, you'd have to bend that 90 to make that floor move. And that would be quite a hard thing to do, is take a flat piece of metal and bend it. It'd be quite a rep, if you know what I'm trying to tell you. So when the tunnel gets in, that's when a lot of the integrity will come back into that floor. I will square tube it on the edges all the way through like that, and then put my tunnel on it to make it as strong as possible. But as you can picture it, I'm going to pick this up in there because, I don't know, because I can. I think I can. Yeah. So, that little bad boy, we'll plant that down in there. I'm going to put that inside the car for now because I know it's got to go there. That's fine. I see we got a couple other things. I'll show you this. So you see what's going on there, transmission and then drive shaft, and that won't be so hard. Bolting that on, unbolting the shaft on the universal joint, unbolting that, bolt it to the transmission, and then we'll make it to our length on the rear end. We've got some stuff here I didn't know we had. It was in the car, and I just put it together yesterday. So we've got a power booster and a reservoir. It's a dual reservoir. That's a good thing. So we're going to have disc brakes on the front. It's brand new spindles, brand new discs, and brand new calipers. And that was given to us by John. He did a build, and he kind of maybe over-ordered maybe once. So he gave them to us. That was a big cost that we didn't have to deal with. I think Jolene was happy about that one. But as I see the brake system, what a nice spot for that right there. Beautiful. Perfect. I was thinking about putting it on the frame on the floor, but no, this is perfect. What I'm also thinking, as I have that there, there's been a couple brake pedals I had that I bought a car. And I'm going to go out and get one right now. But as you see that right there, that's perfectly will bolt right there. What I'm going to do is, so you know we're going to have power brakes, that's a good thing. We're going to have disc brakes, that's another good thing. But when I put that there, I'm looking at the exhaust. We'll check that out. Here's the exhaust. And this is just stuff that I'm looking at and trying and see if it's going to work. And everything right now is making me happy because it seems like it's pretty basic. And what I mean by basic is I might have to cut it a little bit, but that's fine. Exhaust is going to fit no problem at all. Beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful. That exhaust will fit no problem at all. The steering column, I'll put the brake booster up here. I'll put the steering column underneath of it. We have the rack. This is the rack. And this is exactly how it's going in, just like that. And that's the steering mechanism right there. So that little rack there will be bolted on the back side of the front cross member. And I don't know if you can see it or not, Jolene, but it'll be bolted on the back side of this, right there. Across, right there, back side of that. We'll make brackets on that. And then the steering arm will come up right here. And then we'll run the steering column from here down to there. Looks really good. Looks really good. As I have the brakes, I want to go outside for a second. I think I got something. I'll go to my over nervous pee hole. The ice has got the door locked, but I think you can get it. You're thinner than I am. Should put my boots on. Look at that. I have two. That one's got the master cylinder right on it. That's a clutch pedal. That's a good one. That's for a standard. We'll use that sometime. No doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind. There you go. Look at that, baby. Huh? So what will happen is, as I'm right here looking at it, this will bolt on the other side of the firewall, on the other side of the firewall inside the car. This will maybe come out to the dash. I might have to cut it off. Doesn't matter. But there's my brake pedal. Let's go on in. I was wondering, laying in bed last night, if I threw them in the metal pile, and I said, no, I better not do that. Hold the door for you, baby. So, as we're out here, I'm cleaning and playing and figuring and all that sort of stuff, but everything is looking so good. It's fitting, like, even though we had the problem dropping it, but right now it's looking so promising. It's looking so promising because we have everything. As we look at this, if I have the, oh, if you've never done it before, or if you want to see or whatever, I don't know. But anyways, as I have that on there, I'll have to make a bracket on this side. You see the 4 bolts? It'll have to be the same as that bracket there. This one right here. I'll make that out of paper. And then that bracket there, when I put that through, that'll bolt onto this piece. So these bolt on together like this. They're supposed to, or that's what we should have. But it should be in the center. And you can see this rod right here, or the threaded rod. That is that little rod that's sticking rusty right there. So if you can picture it, that will bolt on the face of this. All I have to do is cut that ear off, make a pattern of that, and then weld it to this. When I put that on the firewall, then I can bolt them together. I come in on the other side of the firewall and bolt this on. As that threaded rod is the push rod, there's the push rod to make it work. Here's my pedal, and there's my tail light. And what that does is, that would just let you know when your brakes come on. That's a little spring up there to pull it back. So everything I need, pivot arms there, nice. That is a factory piece. I don't know what it's off of. And I'm going to take that and put that underneath the dash. If you want to come take a look, sweetie. Just like that. So I'll have to cut it off maybe here somewhere. So when the dash goes on, and it looks, I even got the steering column right there too. If I can get it right on the steering column, I can get my steering column right in behind the dash. I'll put it in there, steering column in there. It'll bolt to there. There's your brake pedal, tail light. Out front will be your master cylinder and your reservoir. Seems pretty cool, doesn't it? You could do it, couldn't you, baby? Jolene could do it. You know, I talked her through it and said, you know, take a look. So there's the brake system. Outdoors. Perfect. And it was in a car that we had acquired, and I didn't throw it away because there you go. So that's the brake system. So I got the exhaust system, I got the transmission, I got the dry shaft. We're rocking. I don't know what else to say than that. We're rocking. We got the rack and pinion. All is really left is the work. You know, is the work and the modification. The brakes is going to be fun. It's going to be fun making a bracket. You got to take a piece of paper and slide it over top of that. We'll do a video on that. That'd be a good one. Maybe. I'm going to get someone to help me do with the transmission because it just seems like it's not something I want to play with by myself. The dry shaft, once the transmission's in, that dictates what the dry shaft will be. Have not got the rear end in place yet. Sorry. I have to put the rear end in place before it dictate where the drive shaft is. So you can see how when you customize something from the front, you just continue on right to the back. And that's the way it's going. The exhaust turn downs are going to work perfectly. There's going to be lots of room. Everything is straightforward, in my opinion. And there's only a certain amount of things you need. On this side, there's a hole here. I'm not sure. We might put the battery there. We might. You can get quite a small battery now. This car has not got much room for a whole bunch. We've got some room in the trunk underneath the spare wheel in the back. I just don't know how you would get at it. You know. I have put batteries underneath the front fender sometimes. It's okay, I guess. It's okay. But that's where we're at, just figuring things out. And I really feel that everything is going to go together so well. As I know, the steering column we put in there, we're going to put a steering column on that, it's like a race car. You can pull the steering wheel off. It has a pin in it. Doug took the steering wheel home. He got the steering wheel all polished. That sort of makes me happy, excited to see it. He got a 17-inch wheel. I think he got a 17-inch wheel this time. We won't know for sure until we see it and that sort of stuff. But he says he's got one, and I believe him. So we'll see if it's the shape that we want. That'll be a good thing. And that's because we have a set of 17-inch Bi-Supply Excelsior tire that we can put on it. Right now, all the wheels on this car are dummy tires, and they're not, you know, tires for the road. They're tires for to get you home and that sort of stuff for a short drive, I guess. But we got 4 brand new tires. They still got the nubbies on them. They come off the dump truck. They'd be nice to use on this. I'm hoping the wheels work out for us. That'll be nice. That's a big cost right there. That's a big cost. Even though the radial tire does not take you down the road as nice as a radial tire, it does not matter to me, and I hope it does not matter to Jolene, because we're going to be driving it, not racing it. It's going to be something that you're going to drive on a nice day. But I really like the original. I will like the original tire on it. Yeah, it's going real good. Very, 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 very happy with it. I could let the engine hoist down. I just didn't want to do that yet. What's going on with the motor mounts? I just got 2 self-tappers on the top of them. And when the motor comes down, I'm thinking it's going to push them frame mounts to the frame rail. It will not put them out until I get, you know, more done to it. I want to use the jack for underneath the transmission and keep that in place, or let it down or up. I have to do some trimming on the inside. And what I was going to do, I was just going to take that transmission and lay it on that hole, and I just trace on either side of it. That's a pretty basic thing, don't you think? Like, for me, I think it is a basic thing. If I take that transmission and line it up to the bow housing, I can trace that line out and know, or take the measuring tape too, I guess. It should be no problem, but it's quite square at the bottom. The engine's coming out from the bottom. There might even be almost enough room there now when it comes up from the bottom, because you're only going to get it halfway of this transmission. If you can see, the bottom half of this transmission is fat. The top half is skinny. So that's what we're doing. We're out here messing with it, cleaning up the shop, and getting ready for the next step. And it's Saturday too. We're getting ready for the next step. Me and Jolene might go do something today, have a little fun. I need an engine stand to put a 305 on. I want to tear it apart, get it cleaned up a little bit. I want to do a little bit on the 40, maybe get the engine cleaned up, you know, give me a little inspiration on that one. Just change the focus for a minute. But exactly what I've shown you, the exhaust works, the steering rack is going to work, the tires are going to work. If Doug got the tire or rim that we like, the transmission is going to work, just got to trim. The dry shaft's going to work, just going to have to unbolt the front piece of it and then use their universal joint on the back of it. And I might have to cut it. The rear end is not in place yet. Once we get the transmission in, then we'll get our 3-degree on our engine, and then we'll make a transmission mount, and it's just on from there. One click after another. I'm happy with it. We'll probably have to maybe get a radiator made or something like that. Maybe, we'll see. But yeah, that was a good find this morning. That was a good find. I'm happy with that. Then all I have to do is cut the face off, make a pattern, and ticky boo boo. All right, everybody, have a good Saturday. Have a good Saturday. I am.